I learned how to rock climb in Turner Hall. And actually in Queens Creek, I led my first route there, and I don't even remember what it was rated, but it was a 4-bolt climb. And I remember getting about 3/4 of the way up and just kind of getting scared and not being able to finish the route. So I climbed back down, which was great. Then I unclipped my bolt and fell. So I fell a lot farther than I probably would have had I just kept trying. But I learned very quickly that the gear works, that if you keep your cool, you know, the falls that you do take don't need to be real big whippers or dangerous or exposed or anything like that. The first trad climb I did was Britain's Crack. Okay. And that was just great. It was, 5-6. The fist jams, as you get to the top, you're above the trees at that point, and you can see the lake down off to your left. And every once in a while, a turkey vulture would fly over you, and you can hear the wind. And, I mean, it's awesome. I hold those memories so dear, and like even talking to you about them right now, I'm getting jazzed up. And I love that about those memories, that they jazz me up. I've always been athletic, but I never trained to do anything. And when I started climbing, I wanted to be strong. And so I actually started changing. My body changed then. I got shoulders and biceps and a back. So I got strong. It motivated me to work outside of my sport to continue to be strong. So I'd go to the gym and lift weights and go for I'd run or go for a bike ride or something like that. So my physical well-being got stronger. My social circle and network, it grew. My life was definitely not focused. When I started climbing, the group of people that I was climbing with, that gave my life something to attach to. I felt like I had belonging, community. When I was a young man, I could train my body to climb hard. And so at the peak of my climbing rock, 5'11", ABC, training 3 days a week at Adventure Rock. That was a lot. And so what I ended up doing to my body was overusing it. And so my elbows kind of gave out. So I still wanted to climb. And I thought, well, I live in Wisconsin. I got to stop climbing in the gym because it's just too much. But I still want to be able to climb hard. Bob and I looked into ice climbing in the area, and we knew that along Lake Superior and the Pictured Rocks in Munising area, there's some great ice climbs, short but great. And we went up to the Munising Ice Festival, and there we heard some guys talking about climbs in Alaska that they were doing, and these were Midwestern guys talking about learning how to climb ice in Wisconsin and Iowa and on silos and bringing it out to the big mountains, and they were saying that the skills that you learn on rock and ice in Wisconsin are the same as the skills you need out there. You just got to go, and you just got to do it. So we were inspired.
Initial route was to go up Liberty Ridge, which when you approach the mountain, you have to circumnavigate, and basically, so we hiked along the bottom below the cloud deck all the way around the mountain. Things were going really well. The trail was easy to follow. I think this photo gives you a little bit better idea of the steepness of some of the stuff that we were doing. But when you stood up to rest, great. When you were actually moving, it's almost like you were on all fours. The weather started to turn by like 11 o'clock in the afternoon. It was incredibly windy, and it got difficult to see because the snow was blowing out around so much. Everything started looking the same. And that made us really uncomfortable because there was no contrast or scale, or there were no landmarks. Everything was just vertical and white. And then we got above the clouds, spent a night. We got up at, it must have been 2 in the morning, and it was great. But I was tired. Watching the sunrise above the cloud deck it was just so amazingly beautiful. And it had been raining our whole approach, which was snowing up high, and we got to the ridge. There must have been at least 2 feet of fresh snow. We were going through it waist deep, trying to make our own path, and we got to the spot where once you crest that spot, you have to go up and over, and we just decided that it was too much snow on a 40-degree slope. It was too unstable. We didn't feel comfortable. We weren't experienced enough. So at that point, we turned around. This happens to be my favorite picture. I'm in the red with the yellow backpack. The whole time, we just kept having fun and laughing with each other. Part of the thing that attracted me to climbing in the first place was the fellowship and camaraderie, because the bonds that we developed with each other, being in those tight quarters, relying on each other for emotional and physical support, stability, all of the things that go into climbing and the things that you need, they're some of the strongest relationships that I have to this day. So that was amazing to me.
But I think the biggest thing that climbing did for me was allow me to have this experience of intense focus where everything goes away and your body just moves through a sequence that you're not really thinking about, but you just know. And it feels like you're in tune with the rock and the wind and the air and your breath and where your feet is, and every little muscle in your body firing all at the same time. And then it all comes together at once to form this route up a rock that may take 5 minutes, may take a half an hour. When you can grab that, I think that piece is awesome. So climbing taught me intense focus, and then I extrapolated that to life. I think that's a huge gift. One of the things that I try and give back, but it's a pretty abstract concept for a lot of people. I'm glad I experienced such an intense hobby at such a young age that I really learned the value of activity.